What do you think? So when Harris comes in, what do you think the outcomes will be with respect to foreign policy? Three things. NATO. Let's start. No, I'm going to put them in order. What do you think her policy will be with Israel, Ukraine, and then third, NATO? So let's start with Israel. What do you think of policy? Now, you mentioned before that Harris has made some statements in which she says that the aggression towards Israeli people needs to stop, and there needs to be a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. I think what's his name, Biden said the same thing. Regardless of that, what do you think her policy will be when she comes in? What do you think will be the outcome of the Israeli Hamas conflict, in which Israel is committing a serious genocide against Palestinians? And from what you said, and from what we know, Harris and Biden have acknowledged that there is a genocide. Well, no, they haven't said it's a genocide, but they said that the humanitarian disaster needs to be solved. They use passive language. Continue. Sorry.
Yes, I agree with you. Humanitarian disaster has to stop without a doubt. But I
Yeah, but
feel
what
when I
but what
heard
is
that statement,
what do you think from what you know about Harris's policy and what you know? What do you predict will happen if she comes into office?
that's what I'm saying, that Kamala Harris's policies are not different from what Biden was a proponent of. I just feel it's going to be the same old same. She was vice president under Biden, and I feel even if she appears to be saying something different now, she would continue the same way Joe Biden was doing. She'll continue to support Israel against Hamas when openly telling us that she wants the crisis to stop. Israel is aggressive towards Hamas. I feel she will continue to support Israel, but in
Yeah.
public, she'll make it look as if she wants an end.
Yes. And
Because when I heard that statement, it sounded hypocritical. Because you've been Israel, why would you come and say something different? So that's what I was trying to say. That I feel she'll continue with the Biden policies, Biden
yeah, and so
foreign
the Biden
policies. I
policy
mean,
is they tell Israel, please stop. Stop this. Stop this bombing. It's a humanitarian crisis. They won't call it a genocide. Everybody in the world knows that this genocide that Israel is doing on Palestine is just as bad as the genocide that the Nazis did to the Jews. The only difference is in the numbers, but the difference is in the
the
numbers.
Jews, of
The
course.
more Jews were killed. But if the Israelites could wipe out all of Palestine, they would. So Germany is only nominally worse than Israel, but ideologically, Israel are Nazis. That's what they're doing. This is Nazi work that they're doing. I know you may not agree with that, which is fine, but either way, Israel is not fighting Hamas soldiers. They're bombing children. And here are documented facts that we see on video. Israeli snipers are shooting children, women, and people who are walking on the streets looking for
Of course.
food. So they can't use the excuse that they're fighting Hamas. They're killing children,
Of course.
shooting
Of
snipers,
course.
because one of their excuses is that they bombed the whole area to get rid of Hamas. When you're shooting a woman who's walking to the market to buy food for her child, that is not a war activity. That is war criminal activity. And but, so going back to my point, Biden says that if you don't stop, no, he didn't say if you don't stop. He said, please stop. But meanwhile, they keep signing bills to send money to Israel to keep bombing them. So it's like me telling you, I follow me, stop killing people, but I did not give you money for more guns. Hypocritical. I won't call Kamala Harris a hypocrite yet. But what I'm saying is that if she's backed by the DNC, the Democratic powerhouse, she'll continue the same. Same as Hillary Clinton, who
That's
killed
what I'm saying.
Gaddafi. Same as
I
Obama, who bombed
Barack
Afghanistan
Obama.
and killed him. Now, I don't want anybody to think that because I'm wearing "Make America Great," that I'm in favor of Trump. Trump will do even worse with Israel. Trump has says that Israel can have whatever it wants.
Trump.
Yet, yet he said. But here's the thing about Trump: he's very straightforward. Is he lying? He's not lying. He's saying what he
Not
will do.
lying. And I feel Trump is a stronger supporter of Israel. I don't see any other American president that could have taken the
Yeah,
capital
and so
from Tel Aviv
Biden,
to
and so
Jerusalem.
this is the
If
difference
someone like
between
Trump
This is the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party always says the right thing you want to hear, then they never do it. The Republican Party is scary because they tell you what they want to do. They say they want to close the borders. They don't like immigrants, people from Mexico are rapists, blah, blah, blah. And they've said they will double down. What I mean by double down is that they will even support Israel more. So I'll always say this: make America great again,
It
and
means that the Democrat
don't
Party
vote,
is hypocritical.
and
That's what
don't
you're
vote.
saying.
Yeah, and don't vote because the Republicans are openly evil and the Democrats are charlatans and are secretly evil. Now we're going to go to the other side. What do you think Harris will do with this situation between Russia and Ukraine? What do you think her policy will be?
I think she'll continue to support Ukraine. I don't see how Kamala Harris will come and tear the book open. She's just going to continue.
And she hasn't made any statements about Ukraine. So yeah, thank you.
Democratic policy.
Yeah. So now let's go to the other one. What do you think Trump will do about Ukraine? Or what do you think he'll try to do?
Well, I feel because I think they'll reduce their aid drastically to Ukraine.
Yeah, I think he's going to end it.
Ukraine would reduce.
I think he's going to end it. And here's why I think he's going to end it.
Yes.
Trump is a bean counter. A bean counter is an accountant. He's a businessman. He knows that it's a waste of money and it's ridiculous sending money to fight Russia. Also, Trump tends to be more friendly towards Russia, which I don't think is a bad thing. Anybody who says it's a bad thing is anybody who says that
to Putin. It's closer to Putin.
And anybody who says that's a bad thing is Russophobic. They just hate Russia for no reason. Afolabi, Russia's doing nothing to America, and they're not competing against America.
Wait, Mustafa, it will be interesting to see what happens because now Russia is beginning to align with Iran. If Trump becomes president, judging by the fact that he's close to Putin, how will the scenario play out? Now
here's my prediction. Here's how it will play.
Iran.
So here's how. Now that's the tricky thing, because Trump has already said he's in favor of Israel, and the reason Russia is closer to Iran is because Iran is very important for the oil market and for BRICS. But what I think will happen is that if Trump comes in, Iran will step back, and Trump will tell Israel, stop attacking, stop assassinating Iranian people and doing that. And Iran will step back. Iran will step back and let Palestine go. So what I'm saying is if Trump comes into office, he'll broker peace between America and Iran will step back and allow the U.S. to destroy Palestine. That's my prediction. But Trump is going to have to back off of that Iran stance because he assassinated, when Trump was in office, he assassinated Soleimani. And now recently they just assassinated someone who was trying to bring peace between the countries, between Israel and Palestine. Yes. That's Trump's weakness.
Figure.
And that's very good.
As a political figure.
Yeah, but very clearly, if Harris comes in, she's going to keep on funding that. Now, I want to say one thing quickly. Trump said long ago, and this was the wisest words I've ever heard, the U.S. needs to break off from NATO because NATO is just taking American money. And NATO serves no purpose in this world. NATO is supposed to be a defensive treaty, but all they do is they killed Gaddafi, they attacked Libya. They're going beyond the bounds of their credo. Their credo is that if anybody attacks our countries, we defend each other. Okay, so thank